What's up, everybody? It's time for another fun and wonderful covert adventures. Today I'm out here at the Laurel Grove Fire Tower, also known as Walden Ridge, up here in Anderson County. Now, one thing I did want to point out, and this is a main disclaimer, that this fire tower is actually on private property, and you do have to get permission from the landowner to get out here. So do not come out here unless you get permission from the landowner. And I was actually able to do that today. So it really makes it nice to be able to come out and actually get to get permission and get to come out here and do this. But anyway, so I actually talked to Miss Diane, who's actually family's the one who owns this fire tower. And I asked her if she could share a little bit of history with me. And this fire tower was built in the 50s, and they had a 50-year lease on it when it was up. So this fire tower hasn't been manned since the 1980s. And when the ownership was up, it was put back to her, gave back to her family. Now, her one uncle was one of the ones who actually manned this fire tower, and the spot was chosen because it was the highest point on Walden Ridge, giving great views of the Cumberland Mountains and the Smokies. So, you know, that's a little bit of history, but she is a beautiful air motor fire tower. She sits about 80 feet tall. She is one of the higher fire towers that I've been to. We do have some 100-foots here in Tennessee, but she has 14 landings and 112 steps, if I can remember. But and she's built very similar to the fire tower on Catoosa, with the similar style of stairs. Now, one interesting fact about these stairs on these towers that do this is we talked about on how the original ones like Maynardville and Chuck Schwan had the stairs going diagonally in the middle, and that was an issue because they actually flexed and shook a lot more because the distance from the tower, and you have to think at a 100-foot tower, this base would even be even wider. But in this one here, since it's an 80-foot, it's a little bit narrower, but it has the more newer style of the stairs running parallel. Now, an interesting fact about these is when you go up the ramp, it's all making left turns until you get up to about 3/4 of the way, and then it turns right and goes the opposite direction. It's just a fun little fact. So when you're walking, and you'll start noticing you'll be actually going the opposite direction. Now, one thing you'll notice, I actually have a harness on, and back when I was really doing this, I used to use them a lot more. But since it's been a little while and that, I did want to bring some extra precautions. So I do have a harness, and I'll latch onto the railing as I go up, just to take safety and everything into consideration. But they've done a relatively good job at actually keeping the wood and stuff. I know that there was some fire damage up here, and they actually did do some replacing of it. So they are kind of keeping it up a little bit. It's actually a lot cleaner. I think this is the cleanest I've seen it from the different pictures and stuff I've seen in the past and that. But it's a really beautiful tower. There's actually a board over here. I noticed the cab floor was missing a board, so I wonder if this is it. Actually, I do think this is it. Yeah, it was. They took a board out and yanked it out, so that actually is part of the fire tower. So yeah, see, this is an exact reason of why these places and stuff like that get closed, and that is because people come up and vandalize. I don't understand the whole reason. And one thing, probably going to get a lot of hate for this, but if you see a lot of Twisted Tea for whatever reason, cans and boxes, that's been the most trash I've seen in vandalism. It is all over the place at the Hall's Top Fire Tower. But anyways, we're going to get ready to walk up here, and I'm going to actually put the GoPro on my head, and we'll go from there. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this out with my 360 camera and see how good this looks. So the audio will change a little bit because the 360 cam actually does not have a thing in it, but you'll be seeing it from the One Direction view, but this will give me a wider view of what this will be like. So anyways, the first landing here doesn't actually have handrails on it. So But anyway, so what we'll do is we'll go and we'll switch the GoPro as we go to landing number 1. The nice thing about this particular fire tower is it's got these large landings, so if you actually get a little nervous and don't feel like going all the way up, you have all this room to be able to actually get out and be able to step up. So anyway, so we're going to head up here onto the next landing, and just like I said beforehand, you want to step off to the sides here, because underneath is actually where the bolts are. You can see here's where the metal sits at, and that is more secure. Now this one's a little bit more narrower. Some of the plates come out a little bit more, but still better to put all your weight here. It takes the weight off the center of the board in case if you're on a more deteriorated fire tower. Can't remember exactly when they said the wood was all replaced on this one, but it has been relatively maintained for the most part. Like I said, if she was built in the 50s, she is about, oh goodness, do some math here, 70 years old now at this point in time. So, but most of the time, the wood is where everything starts to fall apart. So anyway, so here we go on the landing that I was telling you about that comes up where we're making left turns. Now we're going to make right turns, and now we're in the more corner of the fire tower. Now, for me, I do get a little bit nervous myself when I'm climbing for the first time on all of them. Even like with this one here, it gets a little bit disorienting, and I just try to look kind of straight down a little bit and not think about, okay, I got that much more to go up. But once I go up once, I'll be completely fine. It's you can hear the ATVs and out of Windrock. Windrock is right over there. They have removed the windmills. We're not producing enough power to maintain and keep the justified of keeping them there. But yeah. All right, now there's one more above me. Definitely an interesting different view now I'll be able to give you with the 360 camera. These landings get narrower and narrower as you go up, especially up here. Around this one up here is the last one, and it gets very, very narrow. But like I said, once I make it up, I don't get nervous anymore. So somebody pulled out that board. Oh, these are loose. These are actually all a little loose up in here. So I'm going to probably just stay over here in the corner on this. So I finally made it to the top of the fire tower. You can see I've decided to kind of latch myself in here. Floor is, the boards are in good shape, but they're a little loose. No, that's the only downside. But I'll just kind of move over a little bit because I know I ain't gonna go anywhere. So, but anyways, she's got her windows that sleep out. She's only got one left. So all these would have been glass windows, and then the larger openings here would have actually had these type of windows where they would have this handle, and this would actually slide out and turn, and that's how they would have been able to actually get up and look at the outside of the tower to be able to actually get out. But I mean, look at these beautiful views out here. Really good time of year to be able to actually come up and see, because the leaves and stuff are just now starting to get on the tree, so it doesn't look as dead, but you can kind of still see a little bit through it. But it really has actually gotten a lot greener over here than it was up in some of the other areas I've been in the past couple of weeks. But really, really pretty fire tower. This one does sway a little bit more, but again, this is an 80-foot tower, so it's 20 foot taller than most fire towers. And I do think that when they're a little bit shorter and they have that zigzag across the middle bit, that can kind of help a little bit with the general sway. But like I said, when you get up to these 80, 100-foot towers, I mean, they can definitely rock a little bit. But fire towers played a very important role in history. And what has happened with them is they were very effective. They didn't go obsolete because they weren't effective. It was mainly because of power, and it was mainly because of the money and manpower, and that it costs a lot of money to do this. And then technology just got better with satellite imagery, aircraft. But people would sit up here for about, a good while, 8 hours a day, looking out there and spotting fires. I mean, you can see way out there. I mean, this was a perfect prime spot that they picked up to actually use to detect fires. And these relic towers and that really do hold a very important part. And they make a great destination. For me, whenever I go hiking, I like a point to go to. I like a point where I can say, hey, this is what I'm looking to see. This is what I want to see to get there. But kind of going on a hike just to go for a hike is a little bit harder for me. But I definitely do like a good destination. Anyway, some great views here from this fire tower. Just remember, if you do end up wanting to come out here, you do need to contact the landowner first to get permission. It's kind of why I'm not going to necessarily show how to get here, kind of out of respect out of that. But anyways, just make sure that, you know, whenever you visit a site like this, you take it in, take it out, don't vandalize anything, because otherwise these places are going to get closed down and we'll never get to explore them ever again. But until next time, I'm Christopher Covert, and this is Covert Adventures. See you on the next one. GoPro, stop recording.